we're going to look at Elon Musk. Specifically, we're going to look at his management style, both the good and the bad, and you can decide for yourself if you'd want to work for him. Over the years, Elon Musk has become a very polarizing figure. In other words, some people really love him and think he's a genius and a revolutionary, while other people don't like him at all and think he's unethical, especially when it comes to handling employees. For, according to these people, Elon Musk has a very harsh or mean way of dealing with his employees. As we shall see, however, other people think his leadership style is exactly what makes his company so successful. These people say that it's Elon Musk's clear vision that really drives his company's success and pushes his employees to do even more than they thought possible. At the outset, or beginning, I want to talk just a little about Elon Musk, in case you actually don't know who he is. He's best known as an entrepreneur and innovator, and for his cutting-edge electric car, Tesla. A few fun facts you may not know, however, are that his first company was founded in 1999 and was called Zip2. Basically, Zip2 acted as an online directory which also included maps, a little similar to Google Maps. Well, the company did not do too bad, as Musk eventually sold it for $300 million. He then used that money to start a new company that would become PayPal. That's right, Elon Musk is also responsible for the company PayPal. In fact, Musk has founded several other successful companies, but the two most well-known are now Tesla and SpaceX. SpaceX, in case you don't know, is a company that wants to make space travel more accessible or available to more people. So, as you can see, Elon Musk has a track record or history of innovation. This makes up a big part of his reputation and, as we shall also see, also plays a significant part in his leadership style. But before I tell you how most people categorize Elon Musk's leadership style, let's take a quick look at the 5 main categories of leadership styles. You can then think for yourself which of the following might best describe Elon Musk's style. Ready? Here we go. First, we have transformational leadership. This type of leader inspires and motivates employees to work hard and think about the good of the company. These leaders have a big vision and help their team achieve great things. Steve Jobs of Apple is a famous example of this style. He often pushed his employees to make their software even more user-friendly and never accepted anything but the highest quality. Next, we have servant leadership. As the name suggests, these servant leaders put their employees first. They support their team members and help their team members grow and succeed. What do you think? Can you think of any examples of servant leadership? Well, one classic example would be Mahatma Gandhi, who prioritized the Indian people's needs above everything else. Then we have authentic leadership. Authentic leaders are honest and true to themselves. They are open, ethical, and build trust with their team. Howard Schultz, the Starbucks of CEO, is known for this authentic leadership style. Schultz's genuine concern for his employees' well-being led to initiatives or programs like providing healthcare benefits even for part-time workers. As we have seen in America, healthcare benefits are a really big deal. So giving this to part-time workers is quite generous. Next, we have adaptive leadership. As the name suggests, adaptive leaders are good at changing and adjusting to new situations. They encourage learning and solving problems. An example of this type of leader might be Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. After taking over the company in 2014, he shifted the entire focus of the company from traditional software to cloud computing and AI, or artificial intelligence. Finally, we have distributed leadership. In this style, leadership roles are shared or distributed within the team. Everyone works together and makes decisions together as a group. An example of this is the company, or group really, of W.L. Gore and Associates. That's right, they make or manufacture Gore-Tex, a material in a lot of things really, and especially outdoor clothes. At Gore-Tex, leadership is distributed or spread across the entire organization, and it uses team-based structure instead of the traditional top-down hierarchy. Okay, after a quick look at all of these main leadership styles, what do you think? Is Elon Musk's leadership best defined as transformational, servant, authentic, adaptive, or distributed? That's right, transformational. Elon Musk's leadership style is transformational since it focuses on innovation and achieving large-scale goals. So, as I promised at the beginning, let's talk about the pros and cons of this leadership style. Obviously, these leaders possess a lot of innovative thinking, analysis, problem solving, planning, and strategy execution. In short, transformational leaders don't wait for the world to change. They make a plan and motivate others to join them as they work to make their vision a reality. We all know about Tesla. It was Musk's leadership at Tesla that transformed the entire electrical vehicle market, or EV market. Before Tesla, electric cars were seen as impractical with limited range. In other words, you couldn't go very far without needing to recharge the battery. But Musk imagined a future where EVs were not only possible, but better than gasoline cars. Under his guidance, Tesla created cars like the Roadster, Model S, and Model 3, cars that are known for their high performance and long range. In fact, Tesla's success has sped up the global move towards electric vehicles and has greatly influenced the entire car industry. And honestly, Elon Musk gets a lot of the credit for this. Another example of this great vision is seen in a less well-known or lesser-known company of Musk. It has a great name, by the way, The Boring Company. It's actually a different meaning of boring than you're probably thinking now, as in a boring movie or a boring book or a boring video. But another meaning of boring is to dig tunnels, which is exactly what the Boring Company does. You see, Musk wants to try and reduce traffic in big cities by creating a lot of underground tunnels where cars, Teslas, for example, can drive through. So, as is often the case with transformational leaders, they can inspire their employees. And Musk has definitely done this. For example, Gwynne Shotwell, COO or Chief Operating Officer at SpaceX, often praises Elon Musk's visionary leadership. She says working with him is both challenging and rewarding because he always pushes the limits of what is possible. In fact, at a 2018 TED conference, she said, "When Elon Musk says something, you have to pause and not blurt out, 'Well, that's impossible.' You zip it, you think about it, and you find ways to get it done. I've always felt like my job was to take these ideas and turn them into company goals to make them achievable." By the way, zip it is an informal way of saying to keep quiet. A zipper is that front opening on blue jeans that we zip up and down to close our pants. But in this context, zip it is referring to the lips, as in zip the lips. Another positive aspect of Elon Musk's leadership style is how he learns from failure. Musk, like many successful entrepreneurs, believes that failing is a part of success. He thinks if you never fail, you're not trying hard enough. When SpaceX's first rocket failed, for example, Musk encouraged his team to keep going, which then led to later success. This teaches his teams not to fear mistakes, but to learn from them. Also, Elon Musk is known to empower his employees. That's another common phrase in business English, by the way, empowering employees. This means that Musk gives his employees a lot of responsibility and freedom. As a result, this trust makes them feel important and motivated. At Tesla and SpaceX, employees often come up with creative solutions because they feel empowered. So, at this point, you might be thinking that Elon Musk sounds like a great boss. Maybe you're the type of person who likes a lot of responsibility at work and who's inspired by a great visionary. Well, as we shall see, Elon Musk's reputation as an employer is, well, a bit complicated. In fact, he's a bit infamous for being harsh or mean. In other words, Musk's leadership is often described as autocratic. This means he demands complete alignment with his vision and does not tolerate deviations or differences. For example, employees at SpaceX and Tesla reported that Musk can be extremely critical and sometimes even humiliating when expectations are not met. To humiliate someone is to make them appear stupid, often in front of others. Obviously, this approach of humiliating employees can create a fear-based work environment. This would then discourage creativity as well as innovation, and everyone would be afraid of intense criticism if their idea was proved wrong. The best example that illustrates perhaps all of Elon Musk's reputation as a leader is his behavior after purchasing Twitter, the social media platform now called X. At least that's what Musk rebranded it as, though many people still refer to it as Twitter. In any case, Elon Musk bought Twitter in October 2022. After taking over, he made many big changes quickly. Musk did mass layoffs of previous employees, letting go of about half the previous workforce. As you can imagine, this sudden move created fear and uncertainty among the remaining staff. Not to mention, with all those sudden layoffs, those employees that remained had to take on extra work, leading to long hours and high stress. And as if this stressful environment wasn't bad enough, Musk told all employees they had to return to the office full time. At that time, the coronavirus pandemic was not yet over, but Musk said his employees could no longer work from home, which upset many people who preferred this flexible work arrangement or who had even moved away or adapted to working from home during the pandemic. All of this created a high-pressure work environment where Musk demanded very high performance and long working hours from those employees that remained. He set tight deadlines and expected quick results. All of this led to burnout and exhaustion, with some employees working 12-hour days or more. He even famously said that if anyone was unhappy, they should leave. But that's not all. In addition to the stressful work environment, many employees reported poor communication. According to these employees, they often didn't know about important changes until the last minute, which only further added to the sense of instability among the staff. In Musk's takeover of Twitter, we also see some erratic or unpredictable behavior that he has been accused of at his other companies. Musk has been known to shift focus abruptly, depending on current trends or simply his personal interests. For instance, while still managing Tesla and SpaceX, he put more attention on his boring company and even shifted significant resources and money from Tesla and SpaceX. However, there are still many who think, on the whole, Elon Musk's leadership style is positive. He has big, groundbreaking ideas. His goals, like making space travel cheap with SpaceX and promoting clean energy with Tesla, they have all changed industries and created new markets. His high standards and attention to detail, much like Steve Jobs at Apple, has made his products some of the best in the world. And even though Musk is demanding, he inspires his teams with his big vision. Employees who work well under pressure actually find his style motivating. Also, some people like to see things get done. And even if Musk is demanding, his companies achieve rapid growth. Okay, I'm going to end it here for today. You can decide for yourself whether you would like to work for Elon Musk or not. Also, I'm going to link a very interesting video on Elon Musk. It's made for an American audience, so it might be difficult, but try it with subtitles and see how you do. By the way, it is a comedy show, but also very informative and, as you shall see, quite critical of Musk.